Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the show. Before I get into all the topics that I would like to share with all of you, please don't forget to give us a big subscriber, to subscribe to our channel and give us a big thumbs up and all that good stuff. And recommend our channel to your friends, to your buddies out there. All right, guys? Don't forget to do us that favor, to subscribe to our channel and give us a like and share if you would like to share as well. All right? Anyway, I want to talk about a few things today. And one of the things that I want to talk about is I did a video, I would say a month ago, a month and a half ago, and I was in the video I was talking about that everybody believes that every single watch piece that comes out of Geneva from Rolex is made Swiss made, and I showed you a video that watches, Rolex watches have been made all over different parts of the world, and some of you don't even believe it still. But I reposted this video, and I got a nice email from a gentleman that couldn't believe that what he saw that I put out there about watches being mac- manufactured in different parts of the world, like in Venezuela. He was really taken by the watch, a Rolex watch bracelet and casing, and basically most of the watch. I would say 95% was made in Venezuela, and he couldn't believe it that that I put this out there. He was very appreciated that I did that video. Because people still believe that Rolex watches are strictly 100% made in Geneva, and it's not true. So again, if you haven't taken a look at that video, you should take a look at that video so you can learn something about your favorite, watch brand. Rolex, the king of watches. I mean, nobody stands next to Rolex. They are who they are. They're the king of watches, and it's nothing bad what they did. When they sent out, different parts of their watches to be built out in the United States and Japan and England and Mexico. It's no big deal. It's not a big deal at all. But you guys cannot continue believing that all Rolex watches are 100% made in Geneva and Swiss made. It's not true. It's not true. The video is there so you can take a look at it and you can learn something. Nobody else is going to do that kind of video because they don't have they don't have it's not to their convenience to do that kind of video. But it's nothing big. It's there. It's not like I'm whistleblowing on something that's not there. If you just do a research, if you Google it, you're gonna find out that your favorite watch brand has used different countries like Japan, to do, some of their bracelets and casing and dials and all that good stuff, right? So take a look at that video. It's an interesting video, and you'll learn something, right? So if you want to learn something different, take a look at that video. You're gonna learn something, and you're gonna go, "Whoa, I didn't know that." So somebody's writing here something. Let me take a look what they're writing here. Creative experiments. Even the Rolex box and certificate is made in China. There you go. There's people out there that know their stuff. I'm not here saying. Listen. Some people believe that Rolex watch parts, some parts are made in China, and they're delivered to Geneva and they're assembled over there. I'm just saying, what people say. But take a look at the video that I did so you can see actual pictures of factories, of different factories in the United States and Mexico, and you can see all that there. You learn, you learn something, and you also learn that if you see on one of your bracelets the name Jusky, that's a collector's item, and maybe some of you have had those bracelets in your watch collections, and you don't even know what you have, and they're very rare. Jusky's it's a factory. It's a department store that was in Mexico, and a long time ago, many years ago, and they used to sell the Rolex watch brand in their department store. And I said it in this video, but I'm gonna just give you a little piece of it. So back in the 19, I don't know, somewhere in the 50s, they were selling their watches, and the president of Mexico told Jusky that in order for them to have their watches, Rolex watches, in their department store, they had to be has to be done something of that watch in Mexico, so it can it can sell. It was for the tariffs and all that good stuff. That wishy-washy stuff, tariffs. Back then. So Mexico, when Rolex came into agreement, and Rolex gave Mexico uh, to start fabricating bracelets, Jubilee bracelets and all that good stuff, casing, buckles, and they started doing that in Mexico. So that video is out. Take a look at it so you can learn something. Because of that video, a lot of people did not see it because it's a very, it's a video that many people don't want people to know, and not even Rolex. Rolex will never admit that they have sent their watches, parts to be done in England, Mexico, Japan, Venezuela, United States. They will never address that, but it's there. And you ask yourself, how is it there? Well, you take a look at the watches and you look at the back of the casing, and you'll see their stamp, made in USA, stamp made in Mexico, hecho Mexico, stamp made in Japan, and so on and so on. So that's a video you should look at, really, because it did not get the exposure. The doors were not open enough, so it can go out there, and people will see it. It's been in basically on the bottom of the barrel. So take a look at that video if you have a chance. All right. All right. Our next thing I want to talk to you guys about is about gold. The price of gold. The ounce price of gold is at $3,360 an ounce. Silver is at $39 an ounce, and platinum is at $1,460 an ounce. So just in case if you guys are also playing around with gold or precious metal, those are the prices. Don't fall asleep on the other metal I was talking to you about, which is rhodium. Rhodium, right? So keep that in mind. I also want to tell all of you that we have friends of ours, we have confidants all over New York, and there was a show there this past week, and it was a flop. It was a flop. The watch market is dead. No matter what they're trying to do to revive it again, they can revive all they want, but the situation with the watch industry right now is not it's not good whatsoever. Nobody is buying watches. Everybody's taking care of the coins they have left, and they're watching over it. Pretty soon summer will be over. Pretty soon summer will be over, and it gets darker where you live at. It gets colder, and people need those coins for different things. So people are being smart out there on the way they're spending their money. So things are not looking good. That show in New York was a total flop, and that's the honest truth and nothing but the truth. If they're telling you that the show was unbelievable, you tell them that I say, Juan Felipe Nieves says the watch market is dead, and that show was dead. Okay. Oh, I see a lot of them. I see a lot of, especially the small ones, the small name watch companies. They're not going to be able to withstand what's coming. What's coming is big. It's a lot of things happening. A lot of things are happening in the world, and people are skip hopping around through life like it's a circus. And it's not. Things are getting sad out there, guys, and they are hyping up prices to, there's to me they're not being it. They would be honest. Let me just say this. I'll be the first one to tell you, hey guys, the watch market is up and running. People are buying watches again. Money is flowing all over the place. There's money everywhere. People are spending money, but it's not true, guys. It's not true. Oh, you just go to the grocery stores. Wherever you live at, go to the supermarkets. People ain't buying what they were buying before. You can continue saying that the watch market is up and running, but it's not. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's not running. And I understand this is the way they make they make their living. I understand that, but I think they'll make a faster living if they will come and say, hey, listen, we're going through some tough times within the watch industry. Too many things are happening. Too many hiccups. Too many hiccups. If you think for a moment that China situation, name calling and saying that they're selling fugazis is not true, that's damaged a whole lot. There's people out there that they're afraid. They will not buy today. The people that were buying from the gray watch market dealers now are going to say, they're saying now, I want to buy from an AD. I want to buy from an authorized dealer. I don't want to buy from no gray watch market dealer because they're scared. That China thing is like it's like that China situation is like the Corona. The Corona beer era. It put a real that wasn't whoever did that, whoever publicized that put a lot of people to think: Am I buying a real Rolex, or am I buying a Fugazi? And I'm telling you what they do over there in China is unbelievable. I'm just saying. My next topic that I want to talk to you guys about again is about the watch market, the secondary grade watch market. You guys don't get to see that, or maybe you do get to see what I'm going to talk to you about. And I have 9 organic watch channel subscribers here, so maybe somebody will tell me yes or no. Do you guys have access to watch auctions, like modern watches, modern auctions, and WhatsApp, and in different platforms and social media? Do you see that? Do you have some of that? Do you have access to that? Okay, anyway, the reason I'm asking you is because every single watch that you can think of that you like, I'll make it simple for you guys. A Rolex stainless steel Jubilee GMT Pepsi. This watch is being in an auction because they cannot sell it. They already sold it enough from dealer to dealer to hype it to that price. There's no more. Ya no hay más espacio. There's no more room to sell it no more dealer to dealer. Now they have to really sell it. So they're putting these watches in auctions, and they are not even selling in auctions. They're not. An example, that's one of them. The other one is, like, let's say an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Panda 26331 stainless steel, white dial with the black gauges. That watch is in an auction. They can't sell it. They already sold it enough to each other that they got to that number. And the last one that bought it, an example, bought it for $38,000. He's going to ask minimum for that watch $39 to make a G, to make $1,000, and he can't even sell it for $1,000. So they put it in auction, and the watch stays there. Nobody buys it because there's no more. They did it among themselves. How much more can they buy that watch for? If you keep on buying it, you're just losing money because it's not moving. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but everybody is using the auction tactic to sell watches. That is a sketch if they're telling you that they're selling watches. They're not. They're selling watches to each other. Dealer to dealer, dealer to dealer, but not a consumer out there. You 8 subscribers, are you guys buying watches lately? Have you bought watches in the last 60 days? Maybe all of you have, who knows? Okay, I believe nobody. See that? In 60 days, nobody's bought a watch. 60 days. So, you have to understand what's happening. Because it's not no more. No, there it is. No, I haven't. There you go. And you are you are a person that buys watches, right? That you like to buy watches, correct? People ain't buying watches. I mean, the deals they're coming falling on my lap are unbelievable, but I don't want it. I don't want it because I believe that the watch industry has to go back to that normal of making $1,000, $2,000 on a watch. You know, guys, these people were making 20, 30, $50,000 on a watch. It's incredible. You're gonna do everything in your power to try to keep that same, level, that line of making 30, 20, $50,000 on a watch. But you can't make it no more. They don't understand it. You can't make it no more because the the SBA loans ain't around no more. The PPP loans ain't around no more. The free government has dried up. All these heavy drug dealers, they're all gone. They're locked up. They're locked up. So there's no money out there, and they keep on asking for a watch that costs you $8,000. They're asking you $22,000. It's crazy. It's really crazy, guys. That amount of money that they're asking. And back in my time, in 2014, 15, 12, 10, 11, they were happy with making $1,000. It's a home run was $2,000, but today they don't want to make 1,000. They don't want to make $2,000. And you know why they don't want to make that? Because it's not easy. They can't afford their red gold fast car. They can't afford, Louis Vuitton Nike sneakers. They can't afford a sweatshirt made by Supreme by Louis Vuitton. They can't afford because they can't buy a Montclair hoodie. They can't. They can't. And they want to keep on living that lifestyle on your children's tuition money, on your children's, dime, on your wife's 401k. And that's what's happening. They don't want to. It's very hard for them to let it go. And it's going to happen sooner or later. It's going to happen. None of the shows these people have made throughout, the United States, has been a flop. It's been a flop. They're selling to each other. They're selling to each other. Everything they do is sell to each other. It's not an end buyer from out there, myself buying 3 watches. Nobody's buying watches. Everybody got smart. The free government money dried up. And it's not going to happen again. It's not going to happen again, Papa. It's not going to happen again. No matter what they are saying to you guys out there, that this, that, it ain't. It's not happening. This is why you don't see no more your favorite content watch shows doing, sales transactions, with a big machine full of $100 bills. You remember those videos you guys will watch? They will put $100,000, $100 bills, and you see that big stack, that big stack of $100,000, even the kid, the kid's 69, whatever you call him, but he has, he's paint his face with 69 and hair, all of this. He's already broke. He's already broke, Papi. He's already broke. You know what I'm talking about. That small little rapper, he's like around 5 feet 4 inches, and he hangs out with Lambos and this and that. He no tiene un kilo, not a penny. The other clown, the boxer that was going to Las Vegas to the casino and put me down $4 million on George Foreman, You know what I'm talking about. Pretty Floyd Lloyd, whatever you call him. That guy? It's over. That facade that they were doing to you guys, it's over, man. You guys got to go back to basics. To work hard, to work real hard, make money, play hard, all that good stuff. But you can't be, you can't be in this wishy-washy stuff. That's all over. The guy's 69. They say he's broke. The other guy, the boxer, Pretty Floyd, whatever you call him, they told him he was running his mouth too much. And, over there, those people, the Bilderbergers, the owners of the world said, be quiet. Be quiet, we're going to have to smack you. Be quiet already, or we have to take all my money back from you. All that money we lend you so you can keep on acting like, you know what I'm trying to say. Be quiet already, antes que te meta un galletazo. It's over. That's over already. Going into a club and taking $100,000 and throwing it into the club. These people don't play around. That's over, Bobby. That illusion is over. Driving a BMW BMW Keith, selling watches. Come on, man. Come on. So you guys have to really, understand what's happening. And I'm the only one that's punching you in the head with this subject. Me only. Me and Kino. Me and Kino are the only ones telling you, guys out there, we're using this platform. We are using this platform to say the watch market is dead. And they don't want to hear that word. They don't want to hear it from you or from me. They will do anything for me to stop saying the watch market is dead. But it is. Don't you have eyes? Do you feel, let me ask you a question, or do you really feel that the watch market is up and running? So when you remember watching all those videos of trucking sweat stained hat with jumbo whiteout ears, small little hands, small little feet, 4 feet 9 inches. You think it's back to those days? You honestly believe that? Because this is what they're doing. They're still saying they're still there. The watch market is dead. Get it through your head. The watch market is dead. I'm just letting you know everything they're doing is auction. Everything they're doing is auction. Anyway, I'm gonna give you guys a watch market update so you have something to think about. Our first watch, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Patek Philippe Cubotis Platinum, with a blue dial and a blue jean strap. Beautiful watch. The 5822. Retail price is $92,707. And when this watch first came out, they were asking for this watch. I'm telling you, they still think that there's free money out there. They're asking for this watch, $350,000. Unbelievable looking time machine. The retail price is $92,707. And don't pay for that watch. It's a 45 millimeter. Don't pay for that watch more. And I mean, don't pay more than $125,000. You guys do whatever you want. Our next watch is for a gentleman, a subscriber of mine, that asked me to please give him a watch market update on this watch model. And I am going to give it to him. This is the new Rolex Daytona yellow gold with the green dial and the champagne or gold gauges, whatever you want to call it. 40 millimeter, reference number 126508. And it has a retail price of $48,400. You do whatever you want with your money. If you still have that free government money, hold on to it. If you still have some of that free PPP money, hold on to it. SBA, stimulus check, protection check plan, whatever, hold on to it. Don't be spending it. Don't be spending it. Don't be dodo birds. So the Rolex Daytona, the yellow one now, the new one now, the one that took over from the guitar guy. No. The John Mayer. It's the same thing. This is another John Mayer, but they just switch things around. 126508, $48,400 the retail price. Don't pay for that watch, and I'm telling you, don't pay for that watch more than $76,500. You do whatever you want. You do, Papi. These are the same numbers. These people no tan bien. And these are the same numbers that back in 2021, 2022, they were asking for a Rolex Daytona John Mayer, yellow gold with a green dial. The old reference, right? They were asking for that watch $80,000, $90,000. And they're asking for this one today, what I just finished telling you. They're crazy. There's no money out there. Papi, people can't even pay their mortgage out there no more. People can't even pay their mortgage. People can't even pay their light bill. And winter's coming around. When winter comes around, things get dark. Like right now, when you see right now, like those two countries are having it out. Ukraine and Russia. They're fighting right now because it's still nice and warm, but when it gets cold over there in that part of the world, the fighting is savage over there. That cold weather. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say, but be careful. Be careful with your money. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Day Yellow Gold Green Dial, 40 millimeter, reference number 228238. This has a crayon green dial. Beautiful watch. Retail price is $44,200. Do yourself a favor. The watch market is dead. Don't pay more than $50,500. You do whatever you want. Don't question me. Don't question me. Question the dealer that's selling you that watch. Don't be questioning me, my prices. Question the man, the dealer that's selling you the watch that he's asking you for the price that he's asking you. Tú tienes las pelotas, you have the courage and the guts to ask me, well, you should have it also for your dealer. Ask them, why this price? Don't question me. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Sky Dweller, 42 millimeter, Oyster Flex, reference number 336238. With a retail price of $47,100. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. The watch market is dead. You do whatever you want. I'm back to basics. You know what basics is? The watch market is dead. The watch market is dead. I'll tell you all day until I turn blue. Watch market is dead. And don't pay for that Oyster Flex with that beautiful green dial as well. I believe this is the most beautiful green dial in the Rolex catalog. I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch, and you do whatever you want. Don't pay for it more than $53,000. How you like them apples? Don't pay more than that. Don't pay more than that. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is the Patek Philippe Cubitus two-tone. The Patek Philippe Cubitus two-tone 45 millimeter, 5821. 1AR, two-tone, rose gold with stainless steel. Beautiful looking time machine. Retail price is $65,266. And do yourself a favor and don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want with your money. It's your money and you do whatever you want. Haz lo que tú quieras con la estilla tuya, tú haz lo que tú quieras. You do whatever you want with your money, It doesn't bother me. But I'm going to tell you because I'm a sweet guy. Don't pay for that two-tone Cubitus, rose gold and stainless steel. Don't pay more than $82,500. You do whatever you want. It's up to you. All right, guys? Our next watch is a Rolex Oyster Perpetual 41 millimeter. They call this the pistachio green. Pistachio green, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. 41 millimeter. Reference number 134300. Stainless steel. Retail price is $6,650. That's right. I'm even giving you the retail price so you know what's happening. Even the retail price I'm giving you because I'm a good guy. Don't pay for that watch more than $12,000. Do whatever you want. It's your money. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is a Rolex Date 40 millimeter diamond baguette dial. Meteorite. Okay? We're talking about a used slider condition material watch in this channel. Used slider. Okay? Like a 2021, 2022, It looks in good condition. Unbelievable looking time machine. Reference number is the 228239. Retail price is $56,800. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that used slider condition material watch. Don't pay for more than $50,500, right? You do yourself a favor. Don't pay more than that. Don't pay more than that. Here's another watch from one of my subscribers that he's trying to get this watch, but he's trying to pay the least that he can. And this is a Rolex Sky Dweller Yellow Gold 42 millimeter with a green dial, with the most beautiful green dial of the Rolex catalog. Jubilee bracelet, Jubilee. Retail price is $56,200. $56,200. Do yourself a favor and save your children's tuition money. Don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch, sir. Listen and learn. Don't pay. Don't pay for this one, Don't pay. Don't pay for it more. Don't pay for that Rolex Yellow Gold Sky Dweller 42 millimeter with a Jubilee bracelet, green dial. Don't pay for it more than $71,000. 71,000. You do whatever you want. At the end of the day, the one that's gonna live thinking about the money that blew away is you, not me. I'm not gonna think about it. I sleep like a charm, you know? That's it. I just give you the prices. Remember, this is how long they've been flim-flamming you guys. They have been fleecing you guys. They have been hoodwinking you guys. These guys have been a bunch of hucksters with you guys for many, many years until I came along and Kino. You know, Kino to me, Joaquin to you. We came along. We're telling you the truth. Don't pay more than $71,000. You know, everybody's coming to my channel now, you know, cutting pieces of prices of mines and sending them out to different backpackers and dealers and all that. This is the price this guy says. This is the price this guy says. This is what they're doing. I'm becoming incredible now. You know, I'm just telling you what's going on. You know, this is what they tell me. Next watch is a Richard Mille RM30 titanium. The RM30 titanium. The 2022. Don't pay for that watch, sir. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $152,000. That's right. Don't pay more than $152,000. No matter if they tell you 176, you pay 152. You're a buyer of 152. RM3001. That's right. Don't pay more than 152. All day, every day. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Patek Philippe stainless steel Aquanaut 5167 with a black rubber, black dial. All right? You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. If they're asking you $70,000 for that watch, I'm going to tell you what to pay for that watch. If they're asking you $70,000 and you still have a headache thinking, should I pay the $70,000 or should I ask Mr. Nieves what is the price that he says that I should pay for that watch? I'm going to give it to you now. Don't pay for that watch, $51.67. You do yourself a favor. Don't pay more than $60,500. That's all I got to tell you. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is a Patek Philippe white gold Calatrava 6007 white gold. Retail price is $42,151. Calatrava, beautiful, Bobby, beautiful, beautiful Patek Philippe. You know. White gold casing, leather. Wow, 2120. Watch this. This man right here knows what he's talking about, Achilles. He's saying 21,000. Are you saying 21,200 to the Patek Philippe Calatrava 6007? Just tell me yes. Give me a thumbs up. He's saying that. I think he said that. Yes. He said yes. Okay. And watch the price. I'm going to tell you. So you understand where people are today. How people are educated already. This is, Achilles is an educated consumer when he uses the number that he used, which was $21,200. He's not far from what I'm going to say. He's there. So he's, I like him under always. Don't go over. Always go under. You know, go under me. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that beautiful Patek Philippe white gold Calatrava 6007G. Retail price $42,151. Don't pay more. This is for you, Mr. Achilles. Don't pay more than $24,000. Okay? There it is. I got to be honest. Look what he says. And I respect him for that. He went under me. When somebody says a number that I like it even under than me. Because I know that you are, you know, a very knowledgeable consumer. You're looking already. You know what's up. He's a man that he's going to go argue with his backpacker dealer, and he's going to say, this is what I want to pay. This is what I want to pay. And he stands, oh, I can't. Okay, no problem. You just keep on walking. But that's the number that he wants to pay. I mean, you guys do whatever you want. Our next watch is an AP Royal Oak Black Ceramic Chrono 41 millimeter. Reference number 26240CE. The watch market is dead, ladies and gentlemen. The watch market is dead. This was a watch that these people were selling all day, every day for $300,000. This AP right here. Unbelievable. This is a watch they were paying like it was a joke. 41 millimeter, 26240 CE. Retail price is $82,200. $82,200. And, Patek is a different story about bankrupt. We'll get into that, but it's a different story. Going back to this AP, black ceramic, I'm going to tell you, Soprano, retail price is $82,200. Don't pay for that watch, no matter they're telling you 115, 120, 130, 111, 107, 105. Don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch more than $96,000. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. The watch market is dead, Papa. It's an illusion. You know what spoof? You know what spoofing is? Spoofing. This is what you're seeing now is spoofing. Spoof, not a spoof ball, spoofing. It's a term they use to hype up any kind of an item. But it's a lie. Spooking, spoofing, it's a lie. They do it a lot in trading, and the SEC is watching you. You know what I'm trying to say? It's all a lie. Nobody, who in their right mind is going to be paying that? Papa, you have to be so loaded for you to give that money away. But somebody that's working, making $250,000 a year, you're not going to spend $100,000 on a watch. You're not. I don't care what you say. You have other things that have priorities before buying a $100,000 watch when you're making $250,000. And $250,000 a year is a nice, a nice pocket change, man. Nice money. It's good money. It's real good money, man. 250,000 pesos is good money. That's a lot of money. But you're not going to be spending $100,000 on a watch. Come on, Bobby. Be smart, man. Don't be dodo birds. You cannot continue being cow tippers. You cannot continue being possum kickers. Stop kicking tires. Stop kicking tires, Bobby. Get with the program. This is another watch that was unbelievable at a time. It is the AP Royal Oak, reference number 26331, 41 millimeter. They call this the Panda, the AP Panda, white dial with the black gauges, 41 millimeter. Unbelievable, this watch. Beautiful watch, beautiful watch. This watch at one moment was over. This is crazy, man. People were paying, young kids that were, little stockbrokers, there was exactly. It's what it is, Mr. Donor. You know what it is. These stockbrokers, they were fresh out of the university. They wanted to eat the world. They wanted to be driving a Rolls Royce because they were gonna hit a home run with one of their, one of the stock, they purchased, And they were out there going crazy, and they said, "Let me have that Panda." And they said, "You want it? We got it for you. It's $110,000." Can you believe an Adamas Piquet Royal Oak stainless steel 41 millimeter chronograph, white dial with the black gauges was sold at one moment over $100,000? I could imagine that young kid, with the Rolls Royce, with the cufflinks with the initials on, over there from Merrill Lynch down there in New York, You're buying this watch for $100,000, and wait till I tell you the price that I'm going to tell you not to pay today for that watch. Watch is dead in water. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that Panda, Chrono, white dial, black gauges, 26331. Don't pay more than $35,000. The watch market is kaput. Watch market kaput. Está jodido, papi. No hay dinero. There's no money out there, man. There's no money. I don't care what they tell you. There's no money out there. Stop believing the big lie. These people are telling you stories. Stories and stories and stories. You saw what happened to the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown. You know, the Puerto Rican Charlie Brown. There still works over there, you know, with that boxing eyes guy, you know, and with the Chia Pet spray can hair, you know, those people over there. You know, he had a BMW Keith. Cost $150,000. He had to give it up. No more money, papi. The money has dried up. Don't you? You guys can't see it, man. You guys cannot see it. You got a guy over there, the walrus fat bastard over there buying lemon, you know, exotic cars and saying he can. They tricked me. They did this to me. No money. The tree has dried up, papi. You know, it's all rigged. It's over. It's over, papi. It's over. I mean, I know you guys don't want to listen, but it's over. You have to obey. You have to obey. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. There's a movie that a friend of mine's from the channel, and and I have an actor there in this movie, William Hurt, James Woods. It was made in 2011, and so you can understand how the watch industry works. You have to see this movie. Fail. Mr. Donut, please tell me the exact name of the movie. I already started already. You know, exactly. It's an unbelievable movie, and you need to watch that movie. I gotta tell you something, Mr. Donut. You know, where truth is truth, you give it to the person. No, that's They Live. They Live. The other one, They Fail. The bankers. The bank industry. They Live, we got the live already. That part we have, obey, is in the live. I'm talking about They Fail. The fail. Which is called, come on, The Big Fail. See that? The Big to Fail. That is a movie. Let me tell you, Mr. Donut, that movie is everything. I think the reason that you even recommended me that movie is because you heard me describing the BlackRock, JP Morgan, you know, State Street. In the movie, in The Big to Fail, Too Big to Fail, they use the name State Street. Do you know that, Mr. Donut? Did you hear it? Aha! Exactly. I said, oh man, he must have been hearing it. And it comes out right there in the movie. Well, I'm wearing this. So that in that movie, that comes out, you know, State Street, and you got to see this movie that this Mr. Donut has recommended. Two movies, They Live, which is, you know, the movie Obey, They Live, and this one here, Too Big to Fail. Papa, the crisis there, they explain. If you want to understand what I'm talking about, all these names, BlackRock, you know, JP Morgan, DuPont, Rothschild, Rockefeller, they're there. It's incredible how William Hurt made all of them sign the paper at the end. One guy said, give me the paper, I want to sign. They had to give money to all those bankers. I shouldn't be saying this, but thank you again, Mr. Donut, for subscribing me. They're all in bed together. Oh, incredible. Everything that I'm telling you guys, what's happening right now in the United States of America, man, just go to 2011. And the actress is William Hurt, James Woods. It was somebody else. He's like a funny guy with a little, he has thinning hair. He was good in the movie too. So again, I wanna thank Mr. Donut for again recommending me such a powerful movie. William Hurt, there he is. He passed away not too long ago, right? He passed away. Man, phenomenal. I mean, the words they used there, I thought they were talking about me, Mr. Donut. I thought they were talking about me. And I'm saying to myself, man, that's why Mr. Donut was telling me you gotta see this movie. And I couldn't believe it. You know, and they even used the word fleeced and everything. I said, what? This is incredible. So you guys have to watch another movie that has been recommended by one of your loyal subscribers from this channel, Mr. Dona. It's called Too Big to Fail. I mean, yes, exactly. You see, it's incredible. It's, when I get happy to hear you, you're telling me that, because it's very hard to find somebody to say, hey, Juan, to see the subliminal messages. And there they are. If you just look and you hear, you're going to see it. You're going to hear and see the subliminal message. And he told them all. He told all those bankers. He told those bankers. And he even told the bankers, and if you guys don't take my money, you're going to make us look bad in the United States. Mr. Donner, explain that to me. Explain that to me again, please. I thought it blew my mind. Yes. He said, if you don't take, he said, so you understand me. He said 45 million to State, 45 billion to State Street. Sally Mae, 75 billion. They were giving money away. And that 2011, supposedly that's like in the era when Bush Jr. left office and Obama came in. I think maybe Mr. Donner can explain to us about that if I'm right or wrong. But it's something to that. It was a disaster. And they were just giving money away to every banker you can think of. Mr. Donner, did I say it kind of right or wrong? Help me out. Incredible. Thank you. Thank you. So again, see that movie. It's recommended by me now. Not by Mr. Donner, by me. Too Big to Fail. 2011. William Hurt, James Woods. And the other guy, the little bald-headed guy. The little bald-headed guy was a smart man too. He was not no dodo bird. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Donner. Thank you so much. So I said we were at the Paddock stainless steel Aquanaut 5167, black strap, black dial. I said don't pay more than $60,500. We're talking about the Patek Philippe Calatrava white gold. $42,151 was the retail. I told you don't pay more than $24,000. And we were at the Panda. I told you the Panda don't pay more than $35,000. The guy who held the bags. So when he said, I saw their faces. Bravo. Saludos. Saludos, papá. You got to see this movie that was recommended to me by Mr. Donner. He's one of our loyal subscribers. And I'm telling you, I was in shock when I heard him, use the words that I use to you guys. And I say to myself, well, I'm going to be honest. My wife tells me always, why do you tell them all those things? They don't even know half the hit that you're saying. And I said, I don't know. I'm sure somebody has to know something. So today I'm going to tell my wife, I said, listen, we have in our Organic Watch channel a subscriber that knows all that. He recommended me a movie that, that it blew my mind away because it uses a lot of my catchphrases. It uses a lot of the knowledge that I have been able to, input into my head throughout reading and all that good stuff. But it is a very powerful movie. It really is. It blew my mind away. Those bankers are incredible, man. The banker, the first one that said, give me the paper, I'm going to sign. Remember that part? Mr. Donner, when he says, give me the paper, I'm going to sign. He wasn't playing around. Me too. I love you too, my brother. But Alex, you got to watch this movie. It's tremenda película. Great movie. Very, very good movie. I mean, if you're into banking and whatever it is, economics and all that good stuff, you need to watch. The way the owners of the world deal, man, we don't have an idea. We can only learn and read about it. So we can imagine how those people talk, the way they live. I mean, the names they were throwing out there were incredible. When he said J.P. Morgan is taking, I don't know, just give me an example. I forgot now. 45 billion, before he finished, they gave out $1 trillion. I'm okay. It looks to be recommended. Yes, yes, that too as well. That too as well. So I just wanted to again one more time. Thank you, Mr. Donor, for the recommendation. You're two for two. They live and too big to fail. Our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, is a Vacheron Constantin Historics 222 yellow gold 37 millimeter 4200H/222. Retail price is $77,000. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. And I mean that, don't pay for that watch more than $61,500 in dropping, right? You do whatever you want. Our next watch is a watch that this watch, I always like to use it because it just makes me remember just a few years ago how people were so just uh, just crazy with their money, man. I mean, just crazy with their money. This watch right here is, and when it first came out, people were willing to buy the watch out of the boutique from the person that got it, from the backpacker that got it, and say, I give you for the watch. This is no lie. This is square business. I give you for the watch $360,000. You know, I got the watch for 100 and change, and I gave it to you for 360. Look at the money I made. I put in my pocket. We're talking about an Adamas Piquet Royal Oak Yellow Gold Green Dial, Crayon Green Dial Chronograph. Reference number 26331 BA 41 millimeter. This watch at one moment, guys, listen to me carefully. This watch went all the way up, you know, like the song, all the way up to $725,000. And I remember saying to myself, man, people are just mad. I think the word mad is when you're crazy, right? Mad. People are just mad. $725,000. Somebody, this is a watch that they only made 125 pieces around the world, limited to 125 pieces. And this watch went to $725,000. And I am telling you that there were people that paid that amount. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, and you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $161,000. $161,000. We're talking about, you know, a collector's dream, a collector's choice, a collector's grade, or as my friend from this channel says, collector's grave. Or like Mr. Donut says, collector's grave. He's dead. I mean, you imagine spending that amount of money? Forget about the 700. Imagine spending $350,000 on the watch because you want to make another 100 now. When you bought it for $350, you're going to ask now $450 for it. And the one that bought it for $450 is going to ask $600. Collector's funeral curtains. That's right. I'm telling you. I mean, you guys do whatever you want. You guys do whatever you want. Next watch is an H. Muser Streamliner. H. Muser Streamliner Alpine 6811-1200. Limited edition. You know, this watch is unbelievable. It's a tourbillon. It's incredible, this watch, you know. This watch has a retail price of $98,000. $98,000. This is an unbelievable skeletonized, you know, three-dimensional movement. It's a beast of a watch. It's a beast of a watch. And $98,000 is the retail price. And I'm going to tell you, it has a blue strap, you know, real funky. Don't pay for that watch. You guys do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $64,000. Yes. But let me tell you, there's some people that, you know, they like the watch. I'm going to be honest, Mr. Donut. It is a dead watch, but it's a very well, you know, crafted watch. Very, very well. You know, it's a real well. I mean, it just all depends how you're marketing your watch, how you're branding your watch, you know, and that's where it comes in, you know. And some people were lucky to, like, let's say Richard Mille. I mean, those people, they chose the right country to market their watch, to brand their watch. They took it to um, Asia, right? Asia, yeah, took it to Asia, and man, let me tell you, I mean, all their watches, they go over there, man. That's where they made their big money. That's where they made their big name. Richard Mille. They market it correctly, and H Moser, I think they're like they're dead, but they're trying to make a run, right? Anyway, our next watch, which is my last watch of the afternoon. It is a Patek Philippe Cubitus, stainless steel with a green dial, 45 millimeter, the 5821/1A. Has a retail price of $43,263. And I'm going to tell all of you, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more. You do whatever you want. It has a green dial, fully stainless steel. Don't pay for that watch more than $78,000. All right? Don't pay more than $78,000. Guys, I'm done with the show, but I want to go back to that movie. You guys have to see the way, this is like, this is what the way I see things. Banks, you have this bank name, that other bank name, blah 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 blah. But the owners of the bank is the government. It's very simple as that. They're the owners. They're the owners of the bank. We have here $2 trillion to give it to you so you can charge the interest you want. Keep it there, this, that. Make your little cut. Mr. Donor, am I saying it something like that? Please, I want to feel good, like I'm saying it the correct way. You tell me if I am or not. Incredible. Here's all the money. No questions. They even tell them in the movie, you have to take the money. I was saying that in the movie, it shows you that the owners of all those banks for real is the government. The government is the one that owns all those banks. He's telling them, you need to take this money. You gotta take this money. You gotta charge this type of interest, make your cut, blah 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 blah. But the ones that own all those banks in reality is the government. Wherever you're from, the government owns the banks. They're the ones. I mean, he's not messing around. He told them, you gotta take the money. You imagine you and me being told, you gotta take the money, Juan and Mr. Donut. Give it to me. Let's go. Some guys are saying, no, but what, are we gonna get hurt? Are they gonna do this to me? Are they gonna do this to me? Whatever. Exactly. Just like that, Papa. Coño, you know what? The mafia does it wrinkled, all wrinkled, the way they handle things, right? The mafia. They over there do it with a nice press, beautiful dress shirt, beautiful silk tie, beautiful Brioni suit, Testoni shoes, and they tell you, you gotta take the money. You gotta take the money. Bobby, we're not talking about numbers. You got to take $50 million. No, they're telling you we're going to give you $46 billion. Spread it out, give people help people out. We need to get the economy back afloat again. It's unbelievable. Because that movie, it really hit me hard because it's something that I've been trying to describe to you people. And it makes it kind of hard for me because I'm not the smartest, smartest knife in the drawer. I'm kind of, a dodo bird myself, but I was trying to explain to you that way, and that movie tells you right there what's happening right now over there, in Washington, over there in that White House with the new administration. Anyway, guys, this has been a great show. I had fun with you guys. Thank you for joining me today. It really has. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our video. We also have a private watch group. It's under my name, Juan Nieves, and Facebook. Look for it under your fine opus in time and request to join the channel. All right, guys? I hope you learned something from what I said today. I hope you learned something from the movie that Mr. Dono recommended me. And you should all watch it, right, guys? Anyway, guys, have a fantastic Sunday. Have a great Sunday. Relax and enjoy your family. To you too.